Hello, I am Tatocat. Welcome to my channel. Today we are playing Doki Doki Literature Club. Previous episodes we thought we were getting somewhere in the game only to get a non-ending ending where Monica deleted the game and we had to reinstall everything, and now we are back to the beginning and this is kind of where we left off. Alright, let's continue. I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. By the way, my voice is still not the greatest, so I'm still just doing my normal voice for all the characters. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, we can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Ah, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay. I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Satsuma? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back on to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Saori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and by clubs you mean just the one other club. I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. I don't know if this is just dejected. She looks more irritated. But I'm sorry, I thought... Satsuma. You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Aw, now I'm just thinking about her eyes popping out and hers going all crazy. Yes, I'm so happy! Saori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. We came for the girls too, not just the cupcakes. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. It's been a while since I've said that. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Satsuma, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Oh yes, our wonderful list poem awesomeness. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Satsuma, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Saori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, the super depressed one. Natsuki, the super childish one. And Yuri, the one who stabs herself. And we get locked in the club room over the weekend. And of course Monica, who deletes the whole game. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? No. Perhaps I'll have a chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. We know how to do this. Okay. Originally I was going to go after Yuri, and then after all that happened, I found out I kind of have to go after all of them in order to get the end. So I'm just going to go in alphabetical order because basically I just can't watch her die. So in that case, I'm going to be going after Natsuki because her name starts with the N. So we're going to be looking for cute words. Precious Grief, Daydream, Uncanny, Clumsy, Vacation, Shiny, Horror, Heaven Sent, Extreme, Shiny? Yep, that worked. Landscape, Passion, Ocean, Atone, Cute, Cute. So instead of reading through all of them, I'm going to just pick the first cute thing. Another Melody Dance, Sweet. Oh, sweet isn't a cute word? Okay. Death, Infinite, Existence, Vertigo, Destiny, Vibrant, Embrace, Giggle. Breathe, Party, Journey, Hope, Cheeks. Yay. Playground, Vivacious, Playground. Nature, Ribbon, Kawaii. Velocity, Storms, Kitty. Marshmallow. Comfort, Treasure, Bed, Fun. Fun is Sayori. Swimsuit, Empty, Shame, Rose, Entropy, Sparkle. Email, Infallible, Special. Anime is definitely, yeah. Tenacious, Lollipop. Desire, Frightening, Secretive, Loud, Flower. Lazy. Games. Whisper, Crimson, Flying, Memories, Chocolate. Imagination, Pure, Alone, Spinning, Candy. Bouncy, Bunny. Agonizing Cage, Analysis, Fireworks, Doki Doki. Wrath, Suicide, Beauty, Melancholy, Color, Hopeless, Covet, Fester, Aura, Tragedy. Oh. Color? Well, I'm getting a lot more Sayori than I'm into. Sensation, Pink. Hi again, Satsuma. Glad to see you didn't run away from us, haha, especially after what we know. Nah, don't worry. This character doesn't know anything yet, so of course we're going to come back. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Satsuma. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. Yes, of course, that's exactly what we plan to do. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki pops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Satsuma always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room, we're a maid, basically. How dependable. Sorry, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. We've seen her room, it's really not that bad. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? Will we ever get to know how she almost did that. You two are really good friends, aren't you? Might be a little jealous. How come you and Satsuma can become good friends too? Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she has put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Oh, wait, Sayori. And me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches out her bag and pulls out a book. I don't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it, if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. No, we're going with a nerdy girl. Is she nerdy? We're going with the fellow otaku route. This time. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Oh. So because we're wooing Natsuki, we are definitely getting new words here. Yay. Ugh. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Freaking Monica. She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point of keeping your collection organized if someone else is just going to mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books in boxes across the shelf. Manga. You read manga, right? Sometimes? Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know anyway? Because you told Yuri, and it's not like she was across this whole school. She was in the same room. I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. I mean, I don't even know what we look like, so we could just be like some stereotypical otaku looking person that wears the I Heart Otaku shirt or something. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is. Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. It is. I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can go do it through the glass on that door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Satsuma. Consider this a lesson straight from the literature club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm going to show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly moe. Don't just stand there. Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. She's so much nicer here than when we were on Yuri's route. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. What's that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't just say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space, while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I've read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. What should I expect from this? Is there going to be a plot? Well, obviously. You think I would enjoy something that didn't have a plot? I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of the beginning is about simple things. Like, there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with a guy at the ice cream shop. But that just helps you get to know the characters. And besides, it's still entertaining. But later on, there's all kinds of drama. Like when they get into all their backstories and when some of the romance starts to happen. That's really what makes it so good. Is this supposed to be kind of mirroring what's happening in the game? How the beginning is super slow and then gets all crazy? There are so many touching parts. Is that so? It sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Hey, wait. What's that supposed to mean? Well, Natsuki gives me a little shove. I just meant that I haven't seen you at your full power. Good save. Oh, it wasn't. This chapter seems like it's about baking. This is just a guess, but is there a lot of baking in this manga? Well, Natsuki pauses for a moment, as if she doesn't want to admit something. Yeah. Why does that matter? It doesn't. I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's just a coincidence. I just happened to get into baking around the same time I got this manga. Like I would ever get into anything because it's in a manga. I feel bad for anyone that impressionable. Definitely not a coincidence. At least he's not dense enough to think that was true. Like, cause this is a very obvious thing that's happening. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, of all the hobbies to pick up for manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. Not to mention she's really good at it, so who am I to judge? We read on for a few minutes. I finished a couple chapters at this point. She looks super young here. Like, younger than high school. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not. Even though you're just watching me read? Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You have other friends? I didn't know that about him. You know what I mean? Hmm? You don't? That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Either she keeps it a secret, or she has no friends. Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. I can't even read it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated towards the other losers over time. What a thing to say. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? The part that we're a loser, probably. I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica was kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am, reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So? Haha. Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flipped the page. Suddenly Natsuki starts laughing. Ha. I totally forgot that happened. Natsuki puts her finger on one of the panels. Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when... I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finished this chapter. Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words the feeling you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience, that makes me smile a little to myself. Okay, everyone. Are you all ready with today's poems? Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse? Sorry. That's my job, to interrupt everything so you never have any romance with the main character. I mean, I just need to make sure we have enough time. Though you do look pretty cozy over there, ahaha. Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright, guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it towards Natsuki. You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Yeah, but... Monica just said... Don't be dumb. Just take it home with you. Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I really didn't plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course. It would take forever to finish it if you didn't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you. That's terrifying, given the pattern in this game. By tomorrow? I only got partway through the volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this, but I suppose that's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Alright then. I stand up. I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slip the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Lies, we've done it lots of times. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Squiggle. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Sayori. No, not Sayori. Natsuki. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Okay, well, let's start with the thing I don't like. First of all, your face. I mean, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind, I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Then, what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So in other words, you're saying you liked it. Urk. Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat. Ugh, you're so... You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing into the world like you're all self-important. And she's kind of a brat no matter which route we play, huh? I shouldn't say that. She's everyone's favorite character. All of her fans are going to like stone me to death. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Grr, fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Alright, we've read this before, so I'm just going to skip all of the poems because we've read them. If a new poem comes up, I will read it. But this is not a new poem. I have read it twice. Yeah. I told you that you weren't going to like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read but hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end but didn't make it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yep, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Who should I show my poem to next? I mean, I guess I should have showed it to Monica first because she's but I didn't want to because it's pointless. I think who I show it to first matters more. I'm probably wrong, but it feels that way, so I'm doing it that way. And then Monica. Dun dun dun. Hi, Tatsuma. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. You are always listening, aren't you? Don't be afraid to bring up things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. You might murder my face. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Ha 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 ha, she says. Don't worry, Satsuma. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Especially if she breaks it. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it, Satsuma. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Ahaha. Oh geez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's like, target found. And she's a good writer too. So take that as a compliment. Ahaha. If you say so. Yep. By any chance, have you read anything by Shel Silverstein? Huh? Maybe a long time ago. He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in just a few simple words. His poems can be funny, endearing, or even sad. And sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that. Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. It may be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. Oh, yes you will. There are multiple girls to go after. All different writing styles, so yes. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, I've noticed, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. Just Monica. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Ahaha. Ahaha. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I'm programmed to. That's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Same poem. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. So I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Became self-aware. Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Or you delete everyone. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never have any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Squiggle. Squiggle, 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 squiggle. Okay, Sayori is next. This is a good poem, Satsuma. Are you sure it's your first time? It is absolutely not. Of course, not. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. ... Question mark. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Satsuma. Deep down, you're not selfish at all. Deep down. Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Yep, we read that. So, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No? Just a little bit? You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice. Or, how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Depressed? It doesn't. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Well, at least she's eating. Even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. Oh, I skipped a line there. It's okay, we've read that before. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm going to write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Now it's going to be Yuri. I wonder what her reaction is going to be now that we're cute. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick writing styles separate from the topic matter and they fit the two together. The end result is that both of the styles and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. So she's not as bad as I thought she'd be after finding out that we're cute. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be the literature club? And we read that before. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking about that at all. Okay, we'll stop here for this episode. I'll see you guys next time. I am Tatocat. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon.